Hey guys, this is Highly the Credit Renovator. Are you looking for free money? Are you looking for grants? Are you looking for help starting a business? Are you looking for help to buy a house? In this series that I've been giving out, working on, it's been question after question after question from folks asking me about, what do you know about grants? Are you familiar with grants? Can you help me with grants? And I tell them, I said, I don't really work in the grant space. I've had limited experience with grants because I've applied for a grant or two myself. I'm pretty good at it for my purposes, but by no means would I think that I would want to hold myself out as a grant writer without some more experience and training to be professional. But fortunately for me, I have friends who work in grant writing, grant procurement, as they call it, grant consultation either. So I reached out to them and did some individual research myself to give some background so that I could bring this to you guys and help you out with those grant questions. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you about the grant funding and opportunity guide that I created and how to use it. Before we jump into me telling you about the opportunities we're talking about, here's an important note. First of all, I didn't make this big, huge list of grants because that doesn't help you. What you want is I guide you on how to look for the right kind of grant that's for you and your business. Because grants, if you understand, grants are given out based on basically target markets, if you will, target people. There's people that give out grants for women. There's people that give out grants for minorities. They give out grants for certain kind of businesses, for people who come from a certain background, maybe even come from a certain school or a certain country of origin, things of that nature. Because these foundations, they collect this money. Sometimes they get money from wealthy individuals, and they say, we want to serve a certain group of people, a certain group of business owners, a certain group of people who want to do it. And so your best chance of success is to match up your profile with grants foundations that want to serve people in situations like yours, people like you in situations like yours. So the guide that I created is based on research into publicly available grants. There's also private grants available as well, and you can search those through Google or any other search engine. Google's my favorite, so I say Google. I think most people do nowadays, but Google is so comprehensive. You can basically ask Google anything and it can find it for you. So understand that. I'm not saying it's only Google, but that. Now keep in mind, Google will show you what's available, and what it'll show you is grants, any funding, assistance, and resource programs, because a lot of help that you get is not just a check. It's not just money, but it's a lot of things that help save you money and make you money. So it's as good as money in the bank. Now, the information I'm sharing with you, I do so as a credit, lending, mortgage, business funding, and financial education professional, right? I am not a professional grant writer, consultant, or grant administrator. I just wanted to be transparent on that. Although I have a bit of knowledge about grants, how they work, and how to successfully navigate it, I do not claim to be by any means an expert, but I am sharing with you information I got from experts, as well as my own independent search. So I hope that's good enough for you. I think nonetheless you will find this very helpful and valuable in your quest to get grants and get free money. Now, my goal also is to not promise you that you're going to automatically qualify for any specific program. My goal is to help you understand what types of opportunities and grants that exist, that's out there, because of course we can't go after what we don't know exists. So by pointing you in the right direction and showing you that, you definitely can find what you're looking for. Now, also, when you're looking at any of these, you want to know what documents and what financial habits may be required in order for you to get eligibility for any of these grant programs. You want to know how your credit profile, business structure, your income, your documentation, and your funding readiness can affect your ability to take advantage of these opportunities. Now, a word. I want you to make sure you guys understand this. And your search, when you're in Google and you put in grants, you're going to get things that are named grants, but not grants in the literal sense. When we talk about a grant being somebody give you a check, money to be used for a specific way, and you don't have to pay it back under any circumstances. There are other things in there too called grants. Things like down payment assistance programs. Many of them are forgivable loans. So even though you may not have to pay, it starts out as a loan, and then you have to meet some benchmarks over a period of time and do certain things. And then the loan later in the future becomes unforgivable, but it's not a grant at the beginning. Some of these are deferred loans where it may be a loan, but you may not have to pay for years. Like sometimes you can get a grant for your home, but you don't have to pay it back until you sell your house later, years later. So things of that nature. There's also tax credits. These are tax credits that you can get that'll save you on taxes down the line, whether they be income tax, property taxes, any kind of sales tax, things of that nature. You may be eligible for those depending on what you're looking for the grant for, whether it be for business or for home, getting a house, or any of those things. So, but again, it's still money. It may be matching funds where, yes, you're looking for a grant for free money, but say if you got a need, you say I need money for a new truck for my business, and the truck costs $18,000. Well, you can get a grant. Well, you put up 9, and then they'll match your 9 with another 9. So it's free money, but it's still, you got to do something first. Technical assistance. A lot of times, especially on the business side, a lot of grants out there offer technical assistance to help you with your business. And this is assistance and resources that you normally would have to pay an expert for. So that grant may not be putting money in your pocket, but it's helping you keep money in your pocket, money you don't have to spend. Not only that, by getting access to it now, you can take advantage of. Once you get that technical assistance and put it to work, it helps you make more money sooner, which is always better than making more money later. There's also training programs. Many of these grants offer you training, free training. Again, training you don't have to pay for, and training to give you skills to add value and increase your potentially increase your revenue if you're thinking about a grant for business purposes. Many of them offer business development support. Again, more things to help you build, start, grow your business and make more money. And then lastly, many of them are called grants. They are low interest programs where it is financing, and it isn't free money. It's money you got to pay back, but it's cheap money. It's cheap. Under the grant program, it'll allow you to get subsidized. And so instead of paying 10% for your business funding, you may only have to pay 4% or 3%. Again, it's still money, but it's not a grant in the traditional sense that most people think of when they say, here's a check, go at it and do whatever you need to do. Now, in this video, and remember, free money still has rules. I forgot to mention that, because people say, oh, wow, man, it's free money, but they got rules. Oh, I got to go through these rules. Well, we know about one rule when it comes to money, which is the golden rule. And what does the golden rule say? He who has the gold makes the rules. So these grant programs, whether it's the government ones or the private ones, they all have rules that they use to determine how, who, where, and how their money gets given out. And the key to the opportunity of getting some of that money still requires preparation. And that's where credit, documentation, and funding readiness. And I remember, funding means everything. Borrow money of all types, free money, anything that helps put money in your pocket or keep money in your pocket in savings and reductions and free services all qualify as funding, and you want to have readiness so that you can take advantage again of this opportunity. Now in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about funding, grant opportunities and funding opportunities for veterans, military spouses, and service-connected entrepreneurs. So to do that, you definitely want to have a funding readiness checklist. That checklist should cover personal credit, business entity setup, business bank account, SAM.gov readiness, and obviously Uncle SAM readiness. So some federal stuff, because if you're going to, and again, it's for military people. For those of you out there, thank you for your service. Any certifications you may need, capability statement about your business, your business credit profile. If you don't have one, I can certainly help you with that. I have a very good program that gets you a business credit profile in 90 days or less, and funding documentation. So, veteran business grants and funding, what to apply for first. Now remember, in the military, you guys know, for those who serve, military is known for discipline. And we know the kind of discipline that is a major integration in the fabric of being in the military can certainly help you guys in business, help all of us in business. So those of us who didn't serve, we can certainly learn something from you guys that did in terms of discipline. Now, that discipline will help you build your business, but it's documentation that'll help you fund your business. So before you apply for anything, you want to make sure you pause. First thing you want to do is write down, if I get this money, what problem in my business will it solve? What is it that I'm trying to do that this money will help you? Because that's a fundamental question you'll be asked by any business grant foundation who's interested, who wants to hear your story and considering giving you some of their money. They want to know, what are you going to do with the money? So you want to be clear on what that money is going to be used for. Now here's where a lot of people get tripped up, and they forget that free money has rules. And so they don't think about those rules in advance. They don't think about those rules until they apply. And you want to make sure that you know what the rules are well in advance so you can be prepared for them. So grants have, they help with any gaps you may have with financing. If you can't get enough financing through traditional borrowing, a grant can help with the gap, right? If you can't get any financing at all, you can't get enough, a grant can help with that gap, right? So keep in mind, yes, the grant will help you with the gap, but your readiness to become eligible for those grants is what gets you through the gate to get the money. So again, I got a checklist for that. If you want to follow that, download that, you'll see it. It'll be offered for you. You'll be able to link that. It's free, no cost. You'll be able to link there and get that checklist, and so that way it's a start on getting you your eligibility for it. So let's talk about some best fit opportunities for veterans and military spouse entrepreneurs looking for funding. There is the Hiring Our Heroes Small Business Grant. Now, this is for veterans and military spouse-owned businesses specifically. So if you're a qualified veteran and or you have a military spouse who owns a business looking to start a business, the Hiring Our Heroes Business Grant is a good place to start. You are exactly who they're looking to help. Now, why does that matter? Their grant opportunity is specifically for qualified military-connected entrepreneurs, which are, again, veterans and military spouses. And so they have a little bit of paperwork. It's a government program, so you can imagine there's a bit of paperwork there. But if you have a bona fide business and you meet that criteria, they definitely can help you. And this one, as far as I see, is primarily money based. Now the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration, they also have a veteran owned business resources grant program. Now with this one, it's targeted specifically for veterans entering or growing a business. In other words, they may be fresh out the military and want to go into entrepreneurialism, or they may have already been in it and they want to grow. And so this program, the SBA program, is exactly who they're looking to help. So if you qualify there, you definitely want to look at that one. So why does that matter? Because with this program, they will help connect qualifying veterans and the military spouses to training, funding, and contracting resources of all kind, whether it's direct money, getting you to some money. They will help you in those three things to help you with your business. So obviously for you veterans, that's a great one. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not aware of a lot of hoops you have to jump through. You fit that criteria in your business. You got your business affairs together. Eligibility is pretty straightforward. Now there's also a program called Boots to Business. This one is also for veterans, obviously, because that's the focus of our talk today. This one is specifically for transitioning service members and their spouses and their military spouses, where they may, again, like I was talking about with SBA, not even all the way out of the military yet. They're in the process of winding down their deployment and coming home, and they already got a business plan or business idea that they want to pursue. Boots to Business helps them with that transition. And the beautiful part of this is if you're eligible for Boots to Business and you start out with that one, that still doesn't stop you from being eligible for any of the other programs later on down the line. So most of these are not mutually exclusive. You can qualify for more than one. It's pretty much which one is you deem to be most appropriate or preferable for you in your grant search. Now with Boots to Business, they provide entrepreneurship type training. Whatever, I know that sounds kind of nebulous. People say, oh, what does it mean? It's any of those things that help you in the pursuit of building and growing a business. So they provide you training that you otherwise would have to pay for, and they provide you with business education. So there's a lot of folks, they may have a set of talents that their business is going to be built around, but they may not be educated in the actual knowledge and skills of building the business itself. They got the job and the skill down, but building up the business and knowing how to manage their revenue and marketing and things of those nature. This program will give you the guidance for all of that. Again, it's money you don't have to spend paying an expert to guide you through it. They're giving it to you in a grant form for no cost. There's also a state program. Many states have this. I'm speaking on the Ohio program, but almost all states have a veteran-friendly business enterprise certification. Just like the minority business enterprise certifications that you may have heard of, this one is a veteran-friendly one, and it's specifically for veteran-owned businesses. And what they do is they get you a certification which makes you eligible for getting state contracts, just like with the minority or women-based programs. So they help you get this certification as a veteran-friendly business enterprise. And with that certification, you go after government contracts. And so you get preferential treatment. You get eligible, especially by having that certification. And if you get government contracts with the certification, that's like money in the bank, because customers, that's a big customer that you don't have to chase down you get their attention by having that certification and getting the appropriate business from that. And so those are some of those. Now, I'm not aware, I couldn't find any, there's a few out there, grant programs that were privately funded for veterans. There's a few of them out there, but they a lot of them have niches. So you want to be real specific about your profile. When you're building your profile for your grant search, you're going to see a lot of them that are going to be for specific. Like there's some where if you were stationed at this base versus another, because maybe the person who built that foundation, they were based out of this base, say in North Carolina or Texas or whatever, and so they're looking to help their fellow service members who were in boot camp at the same place they were, or similar business or anything like that. So you want to be aware of those parameters, those profiles, when you're doing your Google search for grants specifically for your situation. And so that's the key part to your success in getting a grant, is finding foundations whose mission is to serve people just like you, with businesses just like, specifically like yours. And so keep in mind that at Credit Renovators, our focus is to help you become more prepared for the opportunities that you're looking for. Whether you're trying to buy a home, build a business, access capital, or even protect your property, and maybe even create a stronger financial future for yourselves. A lot of people are very interested now in wealth building, and particularly generational wealth building. All of these things are foundational to achieve that goal. Credit goes a long way. I know a lot of people think credit is bad, credit is evil. Credit is leverage, because if you make $50,000 a year, you can do so much. If you somebody who makes $50,000 a year and you got 700 credit, you can do 10 times more, because the credit allows you to leverage and multiply your purchasing power of your income. And so credit is very important in that regard. But remember, all things being equal, better credit gives you better access, and it makes your credit more affordable. So access and affordability are the linchpins of the power of credit, and all of that is leveraged and multiplied with the access to credit. Remember, better preparation will lead to opportunities and be able to turn them into action and access that can get you where you want to go. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I think you'll enjoy more videos. You'll get notification when I roll out these videos, and you'll get notifications so you won't miss out on anything. If you're already subscribed, please share this video or any of the other ones you liked with someone who may benefit from those, because I'm here to help. And so remember, getting that grant money relies largely on your preparation to be able to receive. Just like God says, hey, you got to be able to receive. So until the next time, hope you guys remember, better credit means a better life, and give yourself more credit.